Hello everybody and welcome to our bobbins session. My name's Nicola and I'm taking the session today. Now I'm not in the museum today, but I've got our bobbins box with us and I've got lots of creatures that I want to introduce you to because we're going to go on a big adventure today. But before that, we're going to start with our bobbins song. I've got my bobbin to wind up here. So are we ready to sing our bobbins song and warm up those voices and those arms? Yeah, okay. Ready then. 3, 2, 1. Wind the bobbin up, wind the bobbin up, pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Wind it back again, pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Point to the ceiling, point to the floor, point to the window, point to the door. Clap your hands together, 1, 2, 3. Put your hands upon your knee. Brilliant, well done everybody. That was a good little warm-up for us. So I have got my bobbin here, which if you remember, if you've been before, these are the type of bobbins that Andrew Carnegie's dad would have used on his loom, which he worked on in the cottage of their little house in Dunfermline, which is where the museum is now. And he would have used these to make his thread, which eventually would have made cloth. So that's why we sing our wind a bobbin up at the beginning of every session. But if we unwind our bobbin, I've got some beautiful ribbon on here, let's see what we can see and we can begin our adventure today. So what's on the bottom of my bobbin? Oh, look at this. Ooh, do you recognize that? You've probably got them to get into your cars or into your house. This is a key. Now, the key that opened the place we're going would have been much bigger than this. It would have been a bit like this. Did anyone have a chance to make their own key, like the one I've got here? I made this out of card. You could always make it a bit later if you didn't have a chance to make it. But we need a big, big key because we're going for an adventure in the Glen today, or Pittencrieff Park, which is the park in the middle of Dunfermline that we probably all love to go and explore. So we're going to pretend we're going to put our hats on, we're going to put our scarves on, because it's cold at the moment, isn't it? We're going to put our coats on, and we're going to put our wellies on, and we're going to go out for a big adventure in the park, all from the comfort of our sitting rooms and where we are just now. And we're going to see if we can see any of the animals that we've got around us here today. Do you think we can do that? I reckon we might see a few. Okay, especially that big grey one there, which you see a lot of. So first of all, we're going to open the key. We're going to turn the key in the gates to get into the park. And then we're going to push the gates open. Okay, so if you've got a key, get your key ready. If you haven't, just pretend you've got a key. Okay, and we're going to sing this next song to the tune of This Is the Way We Brush Our Teeth. So this is the way we turn the key to get into the Glen. Okay, so are we ready? We're going to get into that park. 3, 2, 1. This is the way we turn the key, turn the key, turn the key. This is the way we turn the key to get into the Glen. This is the way we push the gates, push the gates, push the gates. This is the way we push the gates to get into the Glen. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. Now, let's imagine that we're the first people into the Glen one morning. We've pushed the gates open. It's all quiet. There's nobody there. There's a bit of dew or maybe some snow on the ground. And all the animals have had the park to themselves all night. So they've had all sorts of adventures by themselves. So let's see what we can see. Now, the first thing that I notice when I go into the park actually is not necessarily the animals, but the beautiful, beautiful big trees that are in the Glen. I can think of one particular one that sits in the middle of the parkland. It's a big, big, big tree. And at the moment, they're great ones that we can go and hug when we can't hug too many other people, but we can hug the trees. So here's a picture of a tree. You might see someone in this tree. Here's a picture of a tree. Now, there's a little creature in there that we might meet a bit later, isn't there? But let's have a look at this tree, because trees are made up of lots of different things, aren't they? So we've got down here the roots, which we can't ever see, but because they go into the ground and they feed the tree. And then we've got the big long trunk. That's the thing that we can go and hug. And then we've got our branches and all these leaves. Now, some of the trees at the moment won't have as many leaves on this as they do in the summer. But even so, some of those leaves might be on the floor for us to play with as well. So in a celebration about our trees, we're going to become trees ourselves. So our feet down here could be the roots, couldn't they? Our body could be the trunk. Our arms could become the branches, big strong arms, branches, and our fingers could become the leaves. So how about we sing about our trees to the tune of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. But instead of head, shoulders, knees, and toes, we have roots, trunk, branches, leaves. How about that? Should we have a go at that? Okay, so let's have a go. 3, 2, 1. Roots, trunk, branches, leaves, branches, leaves. Roots, trunk, branches, leaves, branches, leaves. These are the parts that make up the tree. Roots, trunks, branches, leaves, branches, leaves. Brilliant, fantastic. Should we have another go now that we've got into the way of it? Yeah? Okay, let's have another go. 3, 2, 1. Roots, trunks, branches, leaves, branches, leaves. Roots, trunk, branches, leaves, branches, leaves. These are the parts that make up the tree. Roots, trunk, branches, leaves, branches, leaves. Fantastic. Well done, everybody. Now, talking about those beautiful leaves, I don't know if anyone's been out and managed to collect any leaves. It can get a bit messy when they're inside, but there aren't that many around at the moment, probably hiding underneath the snow. But I've got a few branches here that make a lovely rustling noise when the wind goes through them, don't they? Make a lovely, lovely rustling noise. So if you've got any at home, I bet at the moment you're making a lovely rustling noise with your leaves and branches. And it reminds me of a song that we could sing about rustling leaves, and also gives us an opportunity to remember in the autumn sometimes when all the leaves fall off the trees and you can run around the park and you can kick the leaves, you can throw them at one another, you can throw them up in the air and they all fall down around you. All these falling leaves we could have a little play with today. Now, if anyone had a chance to make some leaves, we sent you a sheet and you could make some leaves. This is your chance to get them out and we can play with them in the next verse. Okay, so first of all, this next song, we've got rustling leaves to start with, and then we've got falling leaves. We can throw them all around us. Okay, so this is sung to the tune of London Bridge is Falling Down. So can you hear the rustling leaves, rustling leaves, rustling leaves? Okay, so should we try that one first? And then we'll get the falling leaves, and that's your chance to throw them all around, and then we're going to pick them up afterwards. Okay, so let's try that one. Can you hear the rustling leaves? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Can you hear the rustling leaves, rustling leaves, rustling leaves? Can you hear the rustling leaves? It's so windy. Okay, now falling leaves. Can you hear the falling leaves, falling leaves, falling leaves? Can you see the falling leaves? It's so windy. Brilliant. Did you throw all your leaves around you? If you did, go and pick them up and we'll do that song one more time. So give you a chance to pick them up for a second. And then should we do that another time? And if you haven't got any rustling leaves, you could be rustling leaves yourself and rustle your leaves around and dance around the space you're in. Okay, let's do it one more time. 3, 2, 1. Can you hear the rustling leaves, rustling leaves, rustling leaves? Can you hear the rustling leaves? It's so windy. Can you hear the falling leaves, falling leaves, falling leaves? Can you see the falling leaves? It's so windy. Brilliant, fantastic. Well done, everybody. Now take a little moment to pick up all your leaves so that we don't make a big mess, because I don't want you to slip on them or anything like that. And we need to keep tidy. So I'll pick them up. Okay. Now, so we've seen the beautiful trees. Now let's see if we can see any creatures. Now there's one creature you might have spotted up here that you might not be able to tell what it is when it's looking at you, but if I take him down, he's beautifully soft. He's got a big, bushy tail, hasn't he? And he sits up like that, and he comes out of the woods, and he looks at you, and he expects you to give you some nuts, doesn't he? And there's lots and lots of these creatures in the glen. I think the last time I was there, I saw at least 20 of them. So they are very, very quite tame, and they come up and they gather nuts from you or anything you're willing to give them. And do we know what these are called? That's right, they're called grey squirrels. And they like to squirrel their nuts away and keep them hoarded for the winter. So they'll be keeping lots of big stores of nuts at the moment when they can gather them. So that's our grey squirrel. Now there's also a very special one. I've never seen them in the glen, but I'm sure they're there. They're a bit more shy and they don't come out quite as much. But if you wait and you're very patient, you might see them. We have one in our garden around here, actually. And this is one wants to come and meet you. She's called Heather. And she is, if you can see her, she's going to come climbing along the bobbin box here. And she's going to take a big jump because they're good at jumping, these little beasties. And what is she? She's got spiky ears, and she's got a friendly face, and she's got a big bushy tail as well. She is a bit smaller than our grey squirrel, but she is a red squirrel. Beautiful little red squirrel. If you're very patient, you can sometimes see them around and about. They're quite shy and they're very fast, and they'll climb up a tree nearby you. But this little Heather has got a little tune for you, a little rhyme for you. So as I sing it, maybe you could do a little dance for Heather, because Heather's going to do a little dance for you. So maybe you could do a little dance for Heather. So the rhyme goes a little bit like this. Red squirrel, shake your bushy tail. Red squirrel, shake your bushy tail. Wrinkle up your little nose. Hold a nut between your toes. Red squirrel, shake your bushy tail. There she's shaking her bushy tail. Was everyone shaking their bushy tail as they were listening to that rhyme? Well, here she is. She's going to come and say hello. And then she's going to say bye-bye. And she's going to run off up onto the bobbin box again. And she's going to go and hide behind her friends over here and keep herself safe. Okay. So if you're lucky enough, you might see a red squirrel in the park one day. Okay, so we've seen our squirrels. Now there's something else that's really quite amazing that lives in the park. And these are very, very colourful animals. They've got very, very colourful feathers because they're birds. And if you look behind my shoulder there, there's a tiny weeny bit of green in there, because these creatures have the most unbelievable tail. If I lift them up, can you see what it is? This is a peacock. And we have these peacocks in the museum here, these soft toys. But in real life, they wander around the park. And they've been living in the park for a long, long time. Because the park is really special to us at the Andrew Carnegie Museum, because it was bought by Andrew Carnegie for people like us to go and play in, because he never got to play in it as a boy because it was owned by one family and they didn't want children playing in it. So he bought it for people. And ever since he bought it, almost, there have been peacocks living in it, because a man came back from India where they're found quite often, and he brought them back and he donated them to the park, and they've lived there ever since. So if you go down to beyond the Peacock Cafe, there's a little building where the peacocks live. And there's volunteers there who look after them, and they'll tell you all about the peacocks if you go and ask them. So do go and have a look the next time you're able and the next time it's open, because they are beautiful, these creatures. And I sometimes see them sitting on the roof there and calling out, and they make a funny noise as well, make a funny calling noise. So these are our beautiful feathers. Now I've got a little rhyme about peacocks, and it's a numbers rhyme about peacocks. I've made 5 little peacocks. Did anyone else manage to make their 5 little peacocks? Well, if you've got your 5 little peacocks, you could line them up now, get someone else to hold them for you, and we're going to make one disappear each time we say the rhyme. Okay, so we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peacocks. Okay, so we're going to start with 5 peacocks. Okay, so it goes a bit like this. 5 little peacocks, as always wanting more. 1 ran away, and then there were 4. 4 little peacocks, as colourful as could be. 1 ran away, and then there were 3. 3 little peacocks, wondering what to do. 1 ran away, and then there were 2. 2 little peacocks, having lots of fun. 1 ran away, and then there was 1. Just 1 little peacock. Now, I don't know how many peacocks there are in the park at the moment, but there's definitely more than 1. I know that for sure. I think some quite recently arrived. But we can look at the beautiful colours, some of my favourite colours in there, the blues and the greens. And I've actually got here a couple of beautiful peacock feathers. And you can see these are real peacock feathers. And you can see there the beautiful blues and greens. And these are really special. And often people put them on their hats. Sometimes you see them in people's hats at fancy race courses or things like that, or weddings. But really pretty, and they're sort of shimmery, shiny as well. They're so clever. The birds have created such clever feathers. Now I've got a few more feathers here. I don't know if anyone else at home has got a feather, but they are lovely. They're so soft and lovely to stroke on your face and your hands. But these are lots of different colours, aren't they? I've got a purple one, I've got a yellow one, I've got a blue one, and I've got a pink one. Almost all the colours of the rainbow, which brings us to our next song, I Can Sing a Rainbow. Now, hopefully you've had a chance to find a colour, an object that's the colour of each of the colours we're going to sing in the rainbow. So hopefully you found a red object, a yellow object, a pink object, a green object, an orange object, a purple object, and a blue object, so that you can hold your objects up as we sing a rainbow. Okay, so we're going to sing the rainbow song, I Can Sing a Rainbow. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Red and yellow and pink and green, orange and purple and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. Listen with your eyes, listen with your ears, and sing everything you see. We can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing along with me. Ready again? Red and yellow and pink and green, orange and purple and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. Brilliant, well done everybody. And now you can throw all your colourful rainbows up in the air, as long as they're not too hard objects, because that might hurt a bit. Brilliant, fantastic. Okay, so we've met squirrels, we've met peacocks, we thought about rainbows. Now we're going to think about the water in the park, because of course water is a fun place to play. There's lots of streams in the park that we can splish and splash in our wellies, but there's also a couple of ponds where we can just look in very carefully and see if we can see any creatures, because lots and lots of creatures living in the ponds. One thing that might be living in the pond, and there's one place I know where there are fish in the park, is in the hot houses. If you go into the lovely warm hot houses and it smells like you're on holiday in a really hot place, you can see these big orange fish that are living in the pond there. So next time they are open, do go and have a look at them, because they are beautiful and it's lovely and warm in there as well. I've made a couple of rainbow fishies today for us to sing our rainbow rhyme, our fish rhyme today. You could make a little pond yourself if you want. If you've got some blue card or a blue blanket, you could make lots of fish. And there's not only fish you see in the pond, is it? There's frogs and there's little water boatmen and little creatures, and you might have some pondweed in there. Go down and have a look at the pond and see what you can see in there. And then you can make your own little pond picture at home. But we've got some fishes here. So if you've got your fishes, you could play with your fishes here, or you could pretend to be a fish and you could join in our rhyme, which goes a bit like this. Fishes in the water, fishes in the sea. They all jump up with a 1, 2, a 3. Should we do that again? Fishes in the water, fishes in the sea. We all jump up with a 1, 2, 3. Brilliant, fantastic, well done. And you can play with your fish as much as you like once you've made them. So do have a little go at that if you can. Okay, now, so we've seen our fish, we've seen our rainbows, we've seen our squirrels, and we've seen our peacocks. But there's another couple of animals up here that we're going to meet as well. How about these guys? Now, these guys, these little bunnies, Andrew Carnegie was particularly keen on bunnies. So when he was a boy, he would start breeding bunnies and selling them to his friends. It was one of his first businesses. So I bet at the time when he was a child, there were lots and lots of bunnies around Dunfermline. And I'm sure if you go into the park when it's really, really quiet and there aren't lots of dogs around because they don't like dogs, then the bunnies will come out and they'll feed on the grass out there. So if you're really, really quiet, and like us, when we're the first people in the park, you might see some bunnies in the early morning. So we've got our lovely bunnies here, and we've got a fun little rhyme for our bunnies, and you guys could be bunnies and we can try and wake you up. This is sleeping bunnies. So we can, if you guys pretend, if you want to pretend that you're asleep on the floor, we will see if we can wake you up with our song. Okay, if you hear wake up bunnies, you need to jump up and hop around like a little bunny with your little bunny ears or your bunny feet. Okay, so let's have a go at that. Sleeping bunnies. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. See the little bunny sleeping till it's nearly noon. Shall we wake them with a merry tune? Oh, so still are they ill? No! Wake up, bunnies! Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop. And stop. Brilliant, well done, everybody. Was everyone hopping around? Did you wake up when you were meant to wake up? Should we have another go of that? Because that's quite fun. So everyone lie down again and pretend to be asleep. Okay, nice and still. And then we'll see if we can wake you up. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. See the little bunny sleeping till it's nearly noon. Shall we wake them with a merry tune? Oh, how still are they ill? No! Wake up, bunnies! Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop, hop, hop. Hop, little bunnies, hop. And stop. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. I am sure you are fantastic bunnies. Fantastic. Brilliant. So we've met our bunnies. Now, let's imagine we've been in the park all day. We've had a lovely picnic, we've had a lovely play in the stream. We've seen the peacocks, we've seen all the squirrels, we've fed the squirrels. And now it's getting towards dark time. And there's a creature that only likes to come out in the dark. Now, he's been sitting very patiently behind my shoulder here. And also, I've got one, if you can peek in here, there's one in here. You know what these creatures are? Sometimes I reckon they are watching us all day long from their seat or their holes in the trees here. That's right, it's an owl. And I'm sure there are owls living in the park, but maybe we only see them or hear them at nighttime because they come out at nighttime. They're what's called nocturnal. So we've got a lovely snowy owl here. This is Hedwig, and he is a special owl in our house here. I've got a little rhyme about Hedwig, which points out some of the parts of his body. It goes a bit like this. There's a wide-eyed owl with a pointed nose, 2 pointed ears, and claws for his toes. He sits in the tree and looks at you. He flaps his wings and says, twit twoo. Now that's what you might hear. You might hear the twit twoo in the trees if you listen out at night. Maybe when you're in your house, if there's a tree nearby, have a little listen out. And you might, you never know, hear the twit twoo of the owls because they get busy at night time. The other lovely thing that comes out at night, and this is going to finish off our session today, are, of course, the beautiful stars. Now, I don't know if anyone had a chance to make some stars or even might have got some fairy lights to put on for this song, because this is one of our favourite songs, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And just remember when you go to bed at night, if it's dark, have a little look outside and have a little look at those stars because they are beautiful and they light up the night sky and they're looking down on you and looking after you as you go to sleep at night. So every time, have a little look out and see those stars, and you could sing this song before you go to sleep. So shall we sing it now to finish off our session? This is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Fantastic. Well done, everybody. Brilliant. And I'm sure you did lots of singing, lots of dancing, lots of moving, and there's plenty of opportunity to make lots of craft. We've started up a little Pinterest group. If you want to see any other activities that you fancy doing, you could make hedgehog cupcakes, you could make squirrels out of toilet rolls, you can do all sorts of things. And there's some Lego animals that you could create as well if you've got lots of Lego. So do have a little look at that. And we hope we can see you again soon as well. So thank you so much for coming on an adventure in the park with me, seeing all my animals. We've got the other thing that's going to come out next are these beautiful little things, the daffodils and the snowdrops. So have a look for them as you go into the park as well in the changing seasons. But that's it for now. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.